Hey guys, it's Mr.Stinkler again, and in today's video we'll be going over the Terminids lore and unit roster in Helldivers 2. So we'll start off with a brief lore about the Terminids, and then we'll go into the unit roster, and I'll try to explain to the best of my abilities what each Terminid is used for and why they are created. And yeah, let's get right into it. So when Super Earth first discovered the Terminids, back before Helldivers 1, they were actually a peaceful species that were intelligent, actually. We know this because they have a hierarchy, they have lords, they have queens, they have workers, they have guards, so we know they have some sort of society, which kind of like ants, and we know ants to be relatively intelligent creatures for bugs, right? Only then we found out that they produced an oil, element 710, element 710, whatever you want to call it. And as soon as we found out that they had this extremely powerful oil, we started to have a war with them. And of course they fought back, and as of Helldivers 2, they have fully mutated into a fighting species. They're fully ready for this all-out war that we've brought to them. And yeah, in Helldivers 1, eventually we just clear them out, and we capture them for the E710 farms to produce their oil. Like, what could go wrong, right? Well, actually, everything went wrong. I don't know how, because Super Earth is, like, the best and the smartest, but who cares? The Terminids in captivity mutated and are absolutely volatile creatures, and all they do now is spread across our world full of innocent civilians, breed, and deploy more of these horrendous creatures that we call Terminids. But they still have oil, so we have to fight for that goddamn oil. You feel me? Alright, so now that you know the basic lore of them, I'll summarize it. They're bugs. They have oil inside them. That oil is necessary to run our ships and everything. They broke out of their containment, and that's where we find them in Helldivers 2, fully mutated and fully terrible, and we need to obliterate all of them. Now I will go into the unit roster, so just sit back, relax, and listen to my fabulous voice. Firstly, we have the Scavenger. Now this is the lowest type of Terminid you'll find in the hierarchy. These guys are just the workers. All they do is patrol around and call bug breaches so that the bigger bugs can try to deal with the Helldivers. That's their whole thing, is to try to swarm you. They're like light infantry, very easy to deal with. They're just pesky and a nuisance, but not as bad as the next creature I'm going to talk about. Next up is the Pouncer. Now this is like the annoying little brother of the Scavenger. Their whole role is to patrol around, but they're more lethal, as they have wings, and they have very good agility. They're quite dangerous, actually. They do quite a bit of damage, and when you face one of these guys, you really just gotta aim for their wings or their face. They're not hard to kill, but in groups they're very dangerous. And this is more of the elite light infantry. These guys you want to deal with fast because they are quick, and they will group up on you. And like the little bitches they are, they'll tear you to pieces. The Warrior is the standard Terminid that you will be fighting for majority of your excursions onto the Terminid planets. These are just your normal infantry, a little tougher to kill, but not too deadly unless they're in groups, right? Because Terminids will always swarm you, that's their whole thing. And these guys are definitely more tough, but any type of armor penetrating bullet will do the trick. Even light armor penetrating will kill them. So yeah, just be careful when they're in groups, but you should have a decent time at killing them. Hunter. These are one of the Terminids that are actually like quite deadly. They're just a more grown-up version of the Pouncer. I do want to state though, we as of currently in lore, we actually don't know what the adolescent Terminids look like besides the larva that you can pick up as like a side mission or a secondary objective rather. So I'm assuming that these are just specially made. Well, they're actually mutated with wings, of course, because we're just incredibly unlucky. But they're just faster and extremely deadly. Their talons, their arms, whatever you want to call it, their appendages are very deadly, and they will kill you in a few strikes when they swarm you. I would say they are 100 times more deadly than the warrior, because the hunter strain are fast and they pounce. That pounce attack is so fatal. And their whole job is just to, again, swarm you. They have no specialty besides that, and being a nuisance. And God, dude, little side tangent. Every time I go against a group of these, I just want to pull my hair out because I'm a solo diver. And these fuckers are the worst. Seriously, I don't know what god Super Earth pissed off, but we shouldn't have. Anyways, moving on. This is the first Terminid where you kind of need to eliminate it fast or it will just demolish you. It's the Charger. Now, this is where we get into the incredibly dangerous category of bugs, or at least for the Charger type. They're heavily armored, but if you take out their legs, that's almost an insta-kill. Or head, of course. The Quasar Cannon is great at that. Their whole goal is to deal with Seif's armored division. These guys will tear through exosuits, tear through tanks quickly. They're quite an elite bug who you can see patrolling and guarding. Now this is the Charger Behemoth. Now I have reason to believe this is actually an older, more mature version of the regular Charger. And the only reason I think that is because, first of all, the gray exoskeleton it has, I would just assume that that's just the black exoskeleton getting older. It gets more gray. But you can see that it's more grown, almost more hard looking. So I honestly do believe that this is actually one of the first Terminids we can see that actively gets older, if you get what I'm saying. Like, we see it matured. And its armor is just harder to crack. It's just a more tough variant. But again, going for its legs is probably the best way to deal with it, unless you have a Quasar Cannon or any other like type of weapon like it. One headshot, that'll do the trick. And they're very devastating, and they have the same role as the Charger. They patrol, and they're just very hard to kill. Going back to the warrior strain of Terminid, we have the Hive Guard. It's in their name. Their job is to guard the hives. That's why they were created. That's why they were nurtured into this Earth, this solar system. The only thing that makes them different is that they have heavily armored, I don't know what, claws and a heavily armored face. But if you have armor penetrating, like medium armor penetrating, you can do with them. They're a little annoying, but I think it's actually cool because they have an actual role that's not just like scavenging around for people to kill. It's to guard the hive, and I like that. You really, now I'm starting to see the intelligence of the Terminid species. The Brood Commander is a leadership type class of Terminid where we see again the intelligence of the species in the hierarchy. This type of Terminid leads others. It commands them. It's like a field commander, if you would, you know? Similar to how the commissars in the automatons command their own kind of squad of automatons, the Brood Commander commands its warriors to go around and can call for backup when it's shot at immediately. Two Terminids will crawl up from the ground to help protect it. Super interesting, and I don't know, I just like it. I like how the bugs have this hierarchy. It's very interesting. It's because they're aliens, you know? But not humanoid aliens. I like it. Big fan. The Alpha Commander is one of the highest ranking bugs that we know of. If you thought the Brood Commander was a leader, nah. Now this guy leads in the elite bugs. We're going to go over the bugs he leads in, or they lead in the next unit. But they're just an elite commander. Hard to kill, and just incredibly dangerous. Do a lot of damage. More armor. And this is the field commander, or field general rather. Brood commanders is the commander. This is the field general. Incredibly dangerous, but with enough bullets into his head, it will kill it. Although, when you shoot at this bastard, he calls in some strong fellas. These are the fellas I'm talking about. The Alpha Commander has its own personal bodyguards, that being the Alpha Warriors. Now, these are the strongest warriors we know of in the warrior strain of Terminid. They're harder to kill, they're faster, and in every way, they're just better. And I like how the Alpha Commander has its own like personal bodyguards that are elite. I like it because in real life, we know that high-ranking generals have their own bodyguards, their own elite bodyguards. Just a fan of it. And they're pretty easy to kill, but man, it's just so cool. Oh, man, I love the Terminators. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a traitor to Super Earth, but they're my favorite faction. I love these creepy little bugs. Moving away from the elite bugs, we have the Spewers. We have the Bile Spewer and the Nursing Spewer. Now, with the name Nursing Spewer, you'd think would like maybe lay the eggs that you can destroy sometimes as the main mission. No, these are just horrifically mutated creatures that spew bile, acid. The acid spewer is faster and shoots deadlier, more high damage acid. The other one just shoots bile as well. They're both very similar. Frankly, I don't know why there's two variants. I guess it's to show that they're mutating. They're really easy to kill. They're just a nuisance. They're what I'd assume is more of an Overwatch role. They kind of stay back and they spew their bile. They're a supportive role, really. They also have other Terminids that follow them around, and I'll get into them right now. The Bile Spitter follows the Bile Spewer. It's the closest thing it is to like a scavenger, but I think it's just cool that Arrowhead put in the time to show that the different variations, the different mutations are happening to every type of Terminid creature in the hierarchy, which is cool. There's also a Bile Warrior. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. It's literally just when you kill it, it explodes in acid and can do a little bit of damage. But yeah, these guys, like one shot will kill them. They're just a bit of a nuisance. I think it's just a cool little lore piece to see that every type of Terminid can be affected by this Bile variant. This is one of the largest Terminid strains. Yeah, one of the largest. There's a bigger bastard, and I'll talk about him a little bit later. This is arguably the most elite Terminid there is, besides one more. Their whole job is to destroy anything. They're deployed to kill anything. They're incredibly hard to kill, unless you get like a lucky shot to the head with like a Kaiser cannon. Is my best example. It's one of the stratagems I use because it's so good for taking out the Bile Titans. These things are humongous and can kill anything. And it's, again, a newer strain of Terminid that was not seen in Helldivers 1, so they got time to mutate. The Terminid, they really cooked with this creature. High damage, incredibly dangerous, and yeah, it is recommended not to fight one, or go close to one. Now this Terminid is fucked up, and seriously, whatever Terminid cooked this in their pot can go, well, I hope it's dead. This is literally a Biotitan with wings. It has the wing mutation. The Dragon Roach is like the deadliest, or no, not the deadliest, but that's very deadly. It literally like shoots out vomit while flying over you. It's awful. It's hard to kill. I remember when I was fighting this when it first got released, and I actually quit because it was impossible to take out being a solo diver. I hated it, and I still do. They're incredibly dangerous. Thankfully, you're going to be told if one's on the map because it's a special mutation. And I'll talk about its cousin right now. This is the cousin, the more favorable cousin, the Shrieker. This is a Terminid with a mutation which gave it wings. This all started from a meme, and then Arrowhead decided to give us the actual thing. Now these Terminids are actually not too bad. Like, you may think that they're incredibly dangerous, but they're easy to dodge. their whole thing is that they kind of attack you in groups with swooping attacks, but they're really easy to take down. One one medium armor penetrating bullet to the swing will kill it. They're weak. They're just a bit of a nuisance, but they are cool. I really like how the Terminids mutate to fight against the Supreme Super Earth because we're just goated. But yeah, it's really cool. We only have a few more Terminids left. Keeping with the pattern of mutations, this is the Stalker. Now this is actually our fault. We were experimenting on Terminids, and we created this abomination. An accident, of course. But nonetheless, it escaped, and has now spread to multiple planets. The Stalker can turn invisible, and it ambushes you. It has its own lair. This bastard is like an assassin. That's exactly its role, too. It's incredibly dangerous. It's pretty beefy, especially, but as soon as you see a nest, you gotta take it out, because these guys won't stop. Won't stop coming in the worst possible way. But yeah, not too hard to kill them, just a nuisance. Just be careful if you see a nest. Try to divert your plans to destroy it, because they're just not fun to fight against. And again, I like the lore of these because you actually have lore for them. The fact that they were being researched, and we've kind of screwed ourselves over with this one. Only 2 more Terminids left. Fuck this Terminid. Anyways, this is the Impaler. I don't know what hell this creature came from. But it's like a charge variant, only it has tentacles that breach into the ground and then rip out of it, and it attacks you. It attacks you with like its tentacles. It's really strange, actually really cool. Like it's so odd. It's like, what a weird creature. Like, I don't know what Arrowhead was smoking when they decided to come up with this, but I'm not against it. I think it's a cool Terminid, and I can't even tell you the role of it. I'm gonna be totally honest. I have no idea what purpose it serves other than just to kill anything. And I think, that's the role for most Terminids. They're literally just ants, but scarier, They're not like the automatons, they're doing their own thing, but I like them. And we have one less enemy to cover. My least favorite enemy in probably the whole game, besides the Dragon Roach, because that fucker can go burn in hell where it belongs. This is the biggest Terminid, and by golly, is it the most miserable to fight. It is incredibly hard to kill, and as a solo diver, the only time I've attempted this, I have rage quit. Forgive me, Super Earth, but fuck this creature. This is the highest creature we have in the hierarchy that we know of so far. This thing digs the hives, and for all we know, fucking leads them. Incredibly dangerous. They burrow through ground. They pop up to ambush you, but it's not really an ambush, seeing it's like a trillion feet tall. Incredibly hard to kill. And yeah, frankly, if you have to deal with one of those, let Liberty guide you, because you are fucked. But yeah, this is actually such a super cool Terminid. Its whole thing, it actually builds the hives. It's called the Hive Lord. It burrows through the ground, connecting the hives, making new exits. And yeah, again, another cool little lore piece, I think. Finally, another Terminid that we can explain what its actual use is, besides just killing everything. But yeah, super cool. And, again, let Liberty guide you if you fight one of these fuckers. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. My Helldivers 2 videos have been doing really well comparatively to my other lore videos. I'm not done with Helldivers. In fact, I'm cooking up some ideas, but right now I'm trying to focus on the Metro series, because at the end of the day, my passion is the lore in video games, not only Helldivers lore. But if you could, like and subscribe, that would be appreciated, because I am trying to, just make this a real thing. It's my dream, right? But also, I just hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that this video helps you with the Terminids. It's my favorite faction, and I enjoyed researching this video and looking at them, even though there's not much research needed, because there's not a lot of lore about them. And that's one thing I really wish Airhead did, is they gave us better lore about each Terminid and what they do. And that goes for kind of every faction, but I can't complain, man. This is such a great game. It's one of my favorite games ever. And yeah, if you made it this far, thank you. I really appreciate you watching. See ya.